Hello guys, the Fireball is here. So for the wasted potential of this week, I'm gonna be talking about Bonecrusher. Now, for whatever reason, a lot of you guys have been asking me about this particular wasted potential, and it's kind of weird because Bonecrusher is not really one of those guys I remember the most. I mean, yeah, sure, he did have a cool design and a cool fight against Optimus, but other than that, he was pretty forgettable. So, like always, I'm gonna go over what he did in the movie, so we'll start with that. Alright, so we're gonna start with the first movie. In the first movie, Bonecrusher was hiding in a military base until Starscream gave them the go-ahead to go and capture the Allspark once they found out where it was. So Bonecrusher said he was rolling out to battle, and then he rendezvoused with Barricade and Devastator. I know it's Brawl, but the movie is very confusing, so we're just gonna call him Devastator. I know he's supposed to be Brawl, but some people call him Devastator, some people call him Brawl, so I'm just gonna call him Devastator for simplicity's sake. Now, because a tank, going down the streets will be way too suspicious.
Cruising down the street in my 6'4". Hey, that was dope, eh?
Devastator decided to go wander somewhere else, like trying to find a shortcut or something, while Bonecrusher and Barricade decided to remain together to track down the Autobots. Bonecrusher and Barricade spotted the Allspark and the Autobots. Barricade activated the sirens to try and make the people around them go away, but Bonecrusher was really impatient waiting for them to move out the way, so then he decided to take matters into his own hands. He transformed and basically destroyed the obstacles around him. It was at this moment that Optimus Prime transformed, and Bonecrusher got filled with so much hatred seeing one of his less favorite Autobots. Yeah, I know, we all know he has a thing for Wheelie, everyone's favorite Autobot. He went through an entire bus full of people, destroying it to express his hatred, and then he charged at Optimus, tackling him. They both went down the ledge of the highway, and when they landed, he sucker punched Optimus Prime, but then Optimus hit Bonecrusher back so hard that the Decepticon's eyes popped free from his sockets. All the while, there was this little kid watching the entire thing, saying that it was really cool. The two of them were basically playing cat and mouse over the big pillar thingies. Bonecrusher trying to crush Optimus Prime's head, but then Optimus Prime jumped down to the ground level. Bonecrusher swung on his claw at the Autobot, while he was basically screaming, expressing his hatred. While Bonecrusher was doing this, Optimus Prime took the chance, used his sword, and took out Bonecrusher's right arm, and then he sliced it up to the Decepticon's neck, killing him. After that, Optimus Prime tossed Bonecrusher's body aside, while his head rolled to the ground. And yeah, that's actually it for Bonecrusher in the movies. I know, shocking, right? The character that everyone suggested only lasted one movie. Well, to be fair, he's not the first one on the list, but out of everyone, he's probably the least important. Probably. Now, there are a couple of Bonecrusher copies, or as I like to call them, Bonecrusher's family members, that appeared in Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon. But since they're not Bonecrusher and they're just, cheap copies, I'm not gonna count them. But yeah, that's it for the movie, guys. Now we're gonna cover the comics. So thousands of years ago, after Megatron left Cybertron to chase after the Allspark after it was, thrown into space, Bonecrusher was part of the crew of the Nemesis led by Starscream, who he really hated. This guy hates everyone. I can see why people like him so much. During their trips on the Nemesis, they encounter an alien ship which Starscream decided to destroy it all by himself. Meanwhile, the Nemesis had caught up to the Ark. This is not the same Ark, this is a different Ark. It's very confusing, I know. The Decepticons decided to land a boarding party to attack the Autobots. Bonecrusher was eager to do it since he had nothing to attack. Once the Decepticons landed on the ship, they were met with hellfire as Ironhide, Jazz, and the other Autobots unleashed all their firepower on the Decepticons. Bonecrusher hated that. Starscream signaled the Decepticons to retreat. Bonecrusher hated that order, but he retreated anyways because he didn't want to die. After this tactical retreat, Starscream decided to lead another assault onto the Ark. Bonecrusher was happy, but angry because he hated Starscream. The battle went much better this time, and Bonecrusher almost managed to kill Jazz at one point. Much later, during the raid of the Ark, Bonecrusher fought Ironhide in a 1v1 battle for the fate of the Ark, which he managed to make several dents on Ironhide's armor. But however, Starscream ordered the destruction of the alien ship. At this time there was no ship that was passing by, and Starscream was really interested in it, but the other Decepticons didn't know what Starscream was talking about. Blackout questioned Starscream's reasons, and Bonecrusher was backing Blackout up. Oh wow, someone he doesn't hate. What a miracle! But since they were in the middle of a battle, Bonecrusher, Blackout, and everyone else just kept on fighting, trying to save it for later. Much later, Bonecrusher managed to impale Optimus with a spear. His tail, his spear, you know, that big thing he has on his vehicle mode. But it was at this moment that the alien ship that Starscream was talking about, we're just gonna assume that it's a Quintesson ship, because that's kind of what it seems to be. I don't know, I haven't really read the comic that much. The alien ship began bombarding the ship. Ah, no pun intended. Starscream was damaged because of this, and the Decepticons were forced to retreat. Everyone left Starscream behind, but then Starscream was like, "Please, help me!" And Bonecrusher was like, "I hate you, but I'll help you. There's reasons." So Bonecrusher grabbed Starscream and dragged him all over to the Nemesis, while he was hitting his head while he was being dragged. You know, I kinda see why people like this guy now. And that's the end of the comic known as Ghosts of Yesterday. Now we're gonna go over the IDW comics. So Bonecrusher was one of many warriors who fought for Megatron on Cybertron, you know, before the planet was destroyed. Bonecrusher was part of a Decepticon team that was trying to keep the Autobots out of Tiger Pax, a Cybertronian city. Now Bonecrusher was angry, big surprise there, and he was talking about how the rain sucks, how the planet sucks, how Blackout sucks. I thought you liked him. How Barricade sucks, how everything sucks, and just as he was complaining, the Allspark got sent into space and everyone watched it leave Cybertron. It was at this moment that Barricade said that without the Allspark, Cybertron will die. And then Demolisher said, "Good." A few decades later, Bonecrusher and the other Decepticons will arrive on Earth. Precisely, they will land in Afghanistan and be near United States Air Force Base. Bonecrusher was really happy that he finally had something to kill, as a human convoy was approaching them. And it was at this moment that Wreckage, a Decepticon that was accompanying them, scanned the vehicle and destroyed it, robbing Bonecrusher's chance of killing. He hated what happened, no surprise there. So Bonecrusher, Wreckage, and the other Decepticons killed all the humans in the base and took out some new vehicle forms. That's where Bonecrusher took his new vehicle form, and he was really angry and hated the fact that he needed to have a disguise. But he also hated the fact that he will stand out amongst the humans, since, you know, he's a giant robot, and at this point the humans didn't really know about Transformers, so yeah, it makes sense. But he hated both things, so he couldn't make up his mind. And after that, the Decepticons left the Air Force Base, which Bonecrusher, again, say it with me people, he hated the fact that there was not enough humans to kill. He hates everything. This guy should be the host of the I Hate Everything channel. He will be perfect there. Alright guys, so that's it for Bonecrusher. He doesn't really have any game appearances. Well, he does have some game appearances, but they're basically a retelling of the movie, so it's not worth going over. I'm also gonna talk about the, you know, reuses of his, you know, CGI model, because that's another video for another day. But yeah, that's it for Bonecrusher actually. And oh my god, this was actually pretty short. I wasn't expecting it to be that short, so yay for me. I mean, less work for me, and you guys wanted this, so I guess it's a win-win. Yay! Hopefully. Now I'm going to talk about how would I have handled Bonecrusher. Alright, so I wouldn't have changed much with Bonecrusher. Instead of having him, you know, appear late in the movie, have him, you know, team up with Blackout. Have him, you know, be hitting somewhere around the base. Imagine this. Blackout transforms, he starts destroying the base, and we see a couple of soldiers running near this vehicle to try and escape. But as soon as they do that, they're kicked out as the vehicle transforms. And surprise! There's not just one, but two Decepticons attacking the base at the same time. That will tell us how dangerous, Bonecrusher and Blackout are, and the Decepticons are overall before they got nerfed in the future movies. And also having talk a bit more. Like when he fights Optimus Prime, say, "I hate you, Prime! I hate your sword! I hate your color! I hate the sky!" I don't know, something stupid like that maybe. Yeah, this is actually a big complaint I have with almost all the Decepticons. They never talk. Besides the last night. In the last night it was good because the Decepticons had personalities and they actually talked. Before that, in the previous movies, they barely talked, like, at all. So having Bonecrusher just speak a few lines or make him have some kind of personality will make us care for him a bit more, because I mean, Blackout kinda had no personality, but people still like him because he had a cool design and he was cool. He had some pretty good action scenes, even though the final action scene was kinda crap because he got shot in the crotch. But you guys get what I'm saying here. And Bonecrusher, I feel like he's one of those characters that wasn't meant to play a big role. It was meant to be intimidating, and for the most part, I think he, got the job done in the first movie. Now, like I said, the first movie is the movie that has probably the least amount of Autobots and Decepticons, which is a good thing, because, as a proven fact, the least Transformers there are, the better the movie is. I mean, look at the first movie, Dark of the Moon, Age of Extinction to some degree, I guess. But now I'm gonna talk about the character's wasted potential. Okay, so for the most part, I feel like Bonecrusher kinda fulfilled his purpose because he was just supposed to be another Decepticon in terms of, the movie. In the movie, he was just supposed to be some Decepticon that was strong and a challenge, just to get killed and showcase how powerful Optimus Prime is. So, in terms of his movie purpose, I think he did alright, but Bonecrusher is one of those characters like Jolt, like Infernicus or the Dreads that didn't really have important roles in other Transformers series. For example, RC, we can compare her to her, Transformers Prime counterpart, because in Transformers Prime, RC was amazing. And as for Shockwave, G1 Shockwave was a beast, so you guys know what I mean. And in G1, Devastator was amazing, and in the movies it was crap. For most of these characters in the wasted potential scale, we can compare them to their G1 or animated or Prime counterparts, and we can determine how much better or how much worse they were. And as you guys can tell, this is not called wasted potential for nothing, obviously because they were bad. But in terms of the wasted potential scale, I would probably put Bonecrusher above Jazz. Now, Jazz fulfilled his purpose in my opinion. But Bonecrusher, I feel like an extra fighting scene to establish the character. And the comics portray Bonecrusher even better than the movie did. At least he had personality there. I mean, he hated everything, but that was something, unlike the movie. So that's why I'm saying that at least something could have been done about that. At least something could have been done about that. You know what I mean, right? That's like my biggest complaint, and that's what I feel will make the character a little better, because he fulfilled his purpose. He didn't have wasted potential. The only wasted potential you could have with him is an extra fight scene, and maybe, give him some more character, because he has no character in the movie. Unlike Jazz. Wheeljack had personality, so that's why I'm putting him, below, because he's missing that. Infernicus, because, well, he's supposed to be emotionless. He's just supposed to be like the big, powerful servant of the master. He's not supposed to be like a funny, serious guy or anything. But I am putting him above Jazz because I feel like Jazz is complete, and out of everyone here, his potential was fulfilled. Like, he served his purpose, and that's it. But for Bonecrusher, you could add it a little more, not too much. Because I feel like him dying to Optimus Prime, it's still necessary, because no matter what happens, I still believe that Bonecrusher needs to be killed by Optimus Prime to showcase how powerful he is. But that's my opinion, guys. And I know it was kind of short, but for Bonecrusher, just add personality. That's all I'm saying. And a small fight scene. You don't need to do like fancy stuff or give him a storyline. Just small fight scene. That's it. Problem solved, Michael Bay. You're welcome. But anyways, guys, do you guys agree with my opinion? If you don't, comment down below why and what would you have done with him. I personally feel that he wasn't that wasted. He could just been a little more something rather than nothing. In terms of personality, I mean, he had a cool design and everything. I'm not gonna lie. So next episode, I might do a Decepticon or an Autobot. If this episode doesn't do very well, doesn't get 10,000 views by the end of the week, I will do an Autobot, since Autobot seems to get more views than with Decepticon. But if it does get a lot of views, 10,000 views by the end of the week, I will do another Decepticon. So it's up to you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and I will see you guys in the next video.